Alright, let's mix things up a little bit, shall we? Played a couple of games with Control Hunter. That was pretty neat. Did pretty well, even though I don't really know that we maximized either one of them. I think we just kind of outvalued our opponents in both spots and managed to come through. So I happen to know what all these decks are. Heel Turn is one of my oldest decks. That's why it's actually first. It's just one I converted so that it would work in Standard. But everything else is kind of a mystery. This is our Paladin Cthulhu deck, which mostly focuses on control, like most decks I play. The other Paladin deck there is one of those with that new card that gives Divine Shield to things with 1 health. And it's interesting. It can certainly outrun your opponent other times where you feel like you can't do anything and you feel dumb. The most interesting combo, if you can ever get it, is to drop that on turn 3 for 3 mana, and then on turn 4 play a Twilight Drake, because, man,
I will fight with honor.
Having like a 4/7 with Divine Shield, So we have a couple cards like these ones in the middle. I'm going to toss Divine Favor. It's not really going to do us a ton of good, I don't think, but we'll see. It depends if it's Zoo or Handlock, but there's a lot more Zoo than Handlock right now. And beyond that, I think we'll let the rest of this rock. We don't have a lot of low-value cards, so Consecration's a good one. Might protect us if it is Zoo, we'll see. If we get a why do you call, then we'll have an idea. Let's go ahead and get something going then, shall we? So for those who are unfamiliar, and I know there are a handful of new people who watch these as well, Cthulhu's a legendary that gets to basically come out and nuke the board. It has a battle cry that does damage equal to its attack, and it just spreads out to random targets. And what's nice about that is all these cards that buff it then mean that at some point you can just basically swarm everything, ruin everyone's day, because sometimes you can have like 16, 18, 20 attack, and that's just 20 damage being sprayed all over the place. That Sword of Justice is kind of intriguing. We don't have a lot of targets for the Steward of Darkshire. Let's take it. I don't know if we're going to get to put it to use, but we'll see. Okay, not surprised by that, but it's alright. We could have played the other Beckoner of Evil last turn. I don't think we're terribly worried about it. I'm tempted just to play the Sword of Justice, kill the 1/1 off, and then future turns will have buffs going. So I think we're going to do that, because it's going to be a really attractive buff for this next turn, which we'll look at in a sec.
For justice.
So we're going to hit here, and we're going to hit its friend when it pops out.
This way.
We are all about control. Now, ideally, we're not going to use that Light of Justice, or not Light of Justice. What is in the world is that's the? It is a 1/4 Light of Justice, Sword of Justice. We're not going to look to use that anymore beyond this, so I think we'll just play this out to stay on curve and kill here and pass. With the +1/+1, now we have a 5/3 with Divine Shield, and he can't Mortal Coil yet, so or Mortal Coil, God, Siphon Soul. Could be an attractive silence target, but that's fine. That'll keep some silences away from stuff like Tyrion, which I crafted because I like a few different Paladin decks, and that's a legendary who's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. I mean, I think our play is relatively clear here. We have some options, including Bran dropping and then doubling the battle cry on like Beckoner of Evil, for example, but I think we're better off just taking chunks out of the board and get our lovely 5/3 up. And if he happens to have Siphon Soul, then, you know, we'll be sad for a minute or two, and then we'll move on. I also meant to Solemn Vigil there and didn't. So the moral of the story is, always be sad. I mean, a few different options. This would do 4 damage if I played it in conjunction with Bran. But then we don't have a favorable trade. So I think we just take the hit. I think we do it this way. We go here. Get here. No, it's weird.
I can't do that.
And we'll do this. That's waiting to get hellfired then, isn't it? Alright, let's do this then. No, we're just gonna hero power. Too much indecision.
I will enjoy watching you die.
And look, it was a hellfire. How did I know? Fortunately, once again, we could double up and do 4 damage to it, but we don't have any other thing we can do there. I think it's still the correct play. We don't have a whole lot going for us right now besides that, so we'll do that.
Who knows what secrets will uncover?
Look at that value, though. 4 damage and +4/+4 to our Cthulhu, which is in our hand. And he only has 11 health here, so he's going to have to be very careful about how he develops a board. He's going to want to get some stuff up here to block us. And, you know, okay. I was going to say, I was expecting Mortal Coil there, but Drain Life makes sense. All these things are fine. This looks like a zoo deck that got off to like a weirdly slow start or something. I don't know. Alright, let's start with the Scarab and see what we draw. Well, discover. That's not a terrible one. We're gonna go ahead and play it. Play this. Keep our Cthulhu nice and ready for turn 10.
Why do you call?
Alright. All these things are reasonable, I guess. Still, we're not really concerned about any of it, to be honest. It's all very fun and interesting, but... I think we'll go ahead and take these trays. We could also Blessing the Kings. Maybe we will, just to kind of throw out a false threat. You'll think that that's the concern here, but it's actually not.
Job's done.
So we have a 16/16 Cthulhu. If he doesn't play any minions, which isn't going to happen, then he's dead. He now needs to play at least 5 health worth of minions. Okay, that is close. The problem, of course, is we have minions on board to go ahead and, you know, trade and then just murder him. So let's do that. Let's trade here and then play it. And that'll do it. But he does get to draw that card before he dies, and that's important. I'm not really sure what we just saw. It was, again, like a weird zoo hybrid, but more demons, but it didn't have a quick start. So it was either a really bad draw for a zoo deck or just a random, this is a warlock, put demons in it. I don't know. We'll rock this one more day tomorrow, and then we'll go off the deep end, and we'll use Yogg-Saron. Yogg-Saron, not Yogg-Saron. My Sharona. Yogg-Saron. We'll use that on Friday. We'll probably die, but, you know, that's half the fun.